Productive failure, simply put, is about learning from your mistakes. Failure isn't an ending, but a step in the right direction. It's important to give the students the opportunity to engage in productive failure before giving direct instruction. The students have to think outside the box in order to do something they don't know how to do yet. So, the Stretch Your Limits projects you just completed was following the productive failure strategy. So, now that you have that experience, we have provided you ways to improve your understanding of video production. Productive failure stimulates creativity and meaningful connections, which makes it an effective strategy to use in the classroom. So, for those of you who are educators, might want to utilize this strategy. It is an effective way for the students to gain that long-term understanding of the subject material because they're utilizing their own brains. Developing meaningful connections to the subject will help students gain that long-term understanding of the subject you're teaching. They're interacting with the material in a new way. They are utilizing productive failure. The students are trying to figure out what they can before getting that instructional assistance, and they must think outside the box, as I stated previously, and problem solve with themselves and or their peers. Productive failure is about problem solving, which is basically all of video production and filmmaking. If the lighting is a little off, if the background is too busy, if the audio isn't exactly right, if the cut was too quick, the acting isn't conveying the emotion you want, my new mic isn't working on my computer, there's an abundance of mishaps or situations that can present itself in filmmaking, especially with new tech always coming out. So, when I learned about productive failure, it opened my eyes. I'm a perfectionist at heart, so because I want everything to be perfect. But once I realized, oh, this is a natural part of the learning process, it made me feel better by just switching that mindset. I'm learning, it happens. I now understand not to do this, but to do that. And it is satisfying when you are able to fix that problem that arises. These are all opportunities to learn. Each video I've done, I've learned new things, many new things. And I'm continuing to learn and understand new filmmaking and video production techniques all the time. In video production, you start somewhere, anywhere, right? Whether you are 5, 45, 85, if you're just starting with video production, everyone always just starts somewhere. But basically what productive failure is about, it's reframing your thoughts on what failure means to you and see failure just as a natural part of learning something new. If you find yourself stuck on something, here are some questions you can ask yourself. How can I cure this? Should I do more research on this? What do I need to fix the problem? Is there any easier way to convey my idea? And sometimes you find that the easier way can be better. Did I check to make sure everything is plugged in and secure and in the right place? Literally, this happens all the time. Is it the right setting? Is the tech I'm using compatible with each other? Compatible in this case means, do they work with each other? Did I restart my computer, camera, etc. when it's not working properly? Did I make sure everything is turned on? Again, another thing that can happen is the plug is a little loose. You forgot to turn on your camera, just like these little things like that. And sometimes if your camera or your computer is like acting up or something like that, just switching it on and off kind of does the trick. Not all the time, but that's a helpful little tidbit that I've learned. So remember, productive failure is productive learning. If you are doing it correctly, write it down. Write the steps you took if that helps. Basically, it's about making a habit and being repetitive. And if you're just doing it, if you're consistently doing it, it will become habitual at some point. And it's about productive learning. So, yeah, thank you for being a part of our class.